Hi David.
Hi there.
Just as challenges go, to face a team that hasn't lost all season, as a coach, how do you approach it? Is it one of the toughest challenges of the season?
I see it as a great opportunity. I really do. We've had a pretty good run in Europe. We've played a lot of good teams in Europe, and as things go, the challenge we've got of a team who's 15 points clear, I think 16 points clear in the Bundesliga, is a big one, but one hopefully we can rise to and perform well.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. You just talked about the 16-point gap that they enjoy in the Bundesliga, and of course, let's also mention the fact that they've gone 41 games unbeaten this season. They're first in the German Bundesliga table, and West Ham is seventh in England. Do you think that would sort of have an impact on the game tomorrow, as in their position, where they belong to right now, and their form?
Why?
First in the Bundesliga, seventh in England. Perhaps there's a gap.
What? Don't know. Two teams play with 11 players. Game on the pitch. So I see that being an even game at the start. I don't see anything which has happened in the leagues of any real reference, except for that we know Leverkusen are a very good team, but I don't see the point of talking about they're first in the Bundesliga and we're seventh in the Premier League. I don't see the point of that.
Malik?
Hi David, can I ask for an update on Jared Bowen, please?
Well, Jared's not with us. He's got an injury and not available to play tomorrow night. That's the update. We're not sure, and I probably wouldn't be giving any dates of any thoughts of when we're going to get him back. I couldn't give that at the moment.
What is the problem that he's got?
I'm getting told we think that when he got the knees, he's twisted and he's probably damaged a little bit of something. I don't know. They were trying to use the word like what the fast bowlers get when they bowl the ball fast. The sort of the rotation. So the rotation of one of his whatever you want to call it. We think that's where the damage has come.
And has everyone else travelled?
Calvin Phillips has picked up an injury in training and hasn't travelled.
David, obviously Jared's been so important this season, scored so many goals. How big a miss is he going to be tomorrow night?
Jared will always be a miss because of his importance, and he's a boy who we've he's scored in memorable games for us, especially the final last year. And he's an England international who's played really well for England in recent games. So I think he's a huge miss for us. But look, football happens. I think throughout certainly in our country, I think we're finding a lot more injuries this season to players. No, maybe it's the demands, but overall, last week with those 3 Premier League games in a week was big demands for a lot of Premier League players.
You've got Edson Alvarez out as well. The record without him this season at times has been probably not what you would have hoped for. How much of a concern is it defensively that he's not going to be there?
Well, again, we've only got ourselves to blame, but we have to find a way of getting that covering for him, because he does a good job for us in different ways, and we have to play without him. That's what happens.
Jack?
At Cal, we think so. He kicked the back of one of the boys' legs, and we think he's just tweaked a little bit of a lower hamstring, just at the back of his knee. I don't think he's long term. No, I don't think so. It only happened yesterday, so I'm not quite sure.
Jack?
David, given the form Bayer Leverkusen have had this season, obviously their unbeaten run, does it feel any way similar to the Sevilla tie a couple of years ago, where the expectation was heavily with the opponents and you pulled off a surprise?
Yeah, I think so. But I think we've grown as a club since then as well. We've had a really good run of getting to a semi-final and a final, and so I don't think that we're coming here sort of not with an expectancy of trying to perform well. Our record in Europe, to be honest, has been pretty good in the competition. We've won the group stages in most of the years we've been in it. I think we've won it in 3 years we've been in it. We've gone on quite far in it. So we're looking forward. We're looking forward to it, which will be a really difficult game, but once we're looking forward to, and obviously it's a two-legged tie as well.
There seems to be a theme with your West Ham team that when you really need a result in a big game, you manage to pull it off, whether it's pressure in sometimes with poor results and then a big one, or Sevilla, Lyon. Can you put your finger on why that is in terms of getting up for big occasions like this?
Bit of my character, a bit of my personality, a bit of the way I probably operate as well. You know, sort of challenge the players to be better. So that's why we'll need big leadership, which I've used the word quite a lot in recent weeks as well in some games, and the players to show a level of composure, tactical understanding, with the knowledge that we're in the first game in a two-legged tie away from home to a side who are won 40 games or unbeaten in 40 games and are doing incredibly well in their division. So we have to try and be able to handle that as well.
Mike?
David, we've been here before, but earlier on this week there was smoke signals about Lucas Paqueta and his alleged release clause. Is it important that West Ham enjoy him while you can, for however long that may be, because he's been a tremendous influence on some of your best performances this season, hasn't he?
I think it's all speculation. I can only tell you what I think.
Can you tell us how important Paqueta is to your team in the way you function? That's
a different question. I think he's hugely important. He's been a part of an important part of the side. He's a well-established Brazilian international, and he can bring attributes to the game, you know, which are really important to us. Said many times, you pull your hair out at times, but overall, he's a pleasure to have and a pleasure to work with, and we have to get him at his best. If we get him at his best, it gives us a greater chance.
Without putting him in a league table, is he one of the most gifted players you've worked for? And you worked with a few good ones at Everton as well. And
and United had the chance to be around. I think that he's got some individual ability which you don't see often, but when you do, you recognise it greatly. And I think most people have recognised that he's got some great talent.
Yeah, I'm talking about importance. I want to speak about Kudus Mohammed. He scored 13 goals in all competitions since joining West Ham. How important is he for this tie tomorrow?
Well, he's not just important for this tie tomorrow. He's been important for us all season, and he will be important for us in the future going forward as well. He's a young boy who's only just come to the Premier League and settled in incredibly well. It's not easy to start the Premier League well. A lot of the players who come from overseas find it quite difficult. I think more though, because of the experience he's had he was in Denmark first of all, then he ends up in Holland, and now in the Premier League. I think it's given him maybe a better coverage of different leagues and different players, etc. I think he's done incredibly well for a relatively young boy coming to play in the Premier League.
This age, when they're doing very well, they usually get courted by many clubs around Europe. What would you advise a player like Kudus to stay at West Ham and develop or jump at any big offer that comes?
No, we're really enjoying the way he's playing for West Ham. I think he's got a lot of development to come in the future, and I think at the moment his form for West Ham, his goals, he's settling in nicely.
Okay, final one, Jake.
Sorry, can I just check, is Areola here?
No.
Kurt, you've played some terrific clubs in Europe in the last 3 years, like Seville and Lyon, but Leverkusen haven't lost in 41 competitive matches this season. Is this just about the toughest one you've ever faced in Europe with West Ham?
Yeah, it could be, because like you said, they haven't lost for 41 games. But it's also a challenge for us, because we know how well they played this season, and it's going to be a good game to play, a tough game, but we're still confident that we can do something.
Hi, Kurt. He just mentioned their glorious run, 41 games unbeaten. They've been very, very fantastic, both in the domestic league and in Europe. West Ham, on the other hand, as well, have been amazing. coming from a defeat to Freiburg to winning in England, do you think that you guys have got all it takes to stop the glorious sequence of Bayer Leverkusen tomorrow?
I think, like I said, it's going to be a challenge. We know how well, like you said, they play in Europe and in their domestic league. And we know what we have as well, and dangerous we can be. Like you said, in the game we play at home against Freiburg. We know how well we can play as well. And but we know how tough it's going to be. Like you said, it's going to be 2 legs, and hopefully we can get a good result tomorrow and then next week. But yeah, it's going to be very tough. But yeah, we believe in ourselves, and togetherness will help.
Sorry, one more question. They've come back from almost defeat on 2 occasions, against Hoffenheim and against Karabakh. Do you guys take some sort of confidence from that, oh, they've been unbeaten, but they concede goals? Do you guys want to really maybe take advantage of that?
I mean, everything is possible. We work on them tactically, and I think tactically we've got to be spot on tomorrow. We've got to be all ready to suffer sometimes, but also we can hurt them, I would say. But yeah, like I said, it's going to be a tough match, and we want to make it tough for them as well. And hopefully tomorrow's going to be a good game to watch, but hopefully get a good result.
Hi, Kurt. Can I just ask about how you found the role of being the captain this season and stepping into a bigger leadership role than what you already would have had?
It's a huge honour for me, especially leading the team to the quarterfinal of Europa League, which is something I would never believed I would do before. And yeah, that was a dream as a kid, being the captain. And yeah, seriously, I'm very lucky to be the captain of this amazing team, especially with a great group of players, top players outside in the pitch. So yeah, very proud.
The journey you've had over the past couple of years, how challenging has that been to get to this point, and how rewarding is it to be sat where you are and having the role you've got, and who's helped you along that way as well?
I went through a lot of ups and downs, like everyone, I would say. And my family helped me a lot. My teammates, all the coaches that I had throughout my career as well, and also my old teammate that I had in different clubs. I had a chance to play with some good leaders as well through my career, and I think all of that helped me to be where I am today. And obviously, just living the moment and enjoying that moment.
Like, you watched Declan lift the trophy last year. Have you allowed yourself to dream about doing that as a West Ham captain this season?
Yeah, that'd be a dream, and also an objective, I would say. We're not too far away, still many games to go, starting from tomorrow, which is going to be tough. But yeah, we all believe that we can do it. I think we've done quite well the last 2 seasons in Europe, and hopefully can do as well this year.
Just in terms of the approach coming here tomorrow night, you're missing 1 or 2 key players. Is it a case of making sure the tie's still alive going into next week, or do you think you can come here and win tomorrow as well?
We all play the game to win. It's all about winning. We know we miss a few key players, but we got a good squad, I would say. Everyone's kind of ready to play tomorrow, and hopefully everyone's going to give the 100% tomorrow.